What's up, League? It's your commissioner. Welcome to the first episode of the Commissioner's Corner with yours truly, your host of the Chase for the Chip Fantasy Football League, Jacob Thornton, host of the Captain Commission's football team in the league. You know me, you love me. Just want to get first things first on the what's it called? On the confiding in the commissioner. There's the name. It came to me. I go against the guest, and we do our predictions. And I lost. The guest, Alan's DeGeneres. They went 5 for 5. He predicted everyone down the line. He went 5 for 5. I went 4 for 5 on putting my chips on Laraway a little bit more than I should have. But yeah, I mean, that's the way she goes. 4 for 5, I'll take it. I mean, that's gambling, baby. You go 4 for 5. Doesn't win you any money usually if it's parlay, but I'll take 4 for 5. It's a long season still. Week 1 sucked. Let's be honest with you. If you're a Giants fan, you know what I'm talking about. That shit was horrendous. It was not a good time. It took 2 days for me to recover. I came home from work yesterday. I just like laid on the couch in my underwear, just doom scrolled on my phone, watching anything, anybody just dogging the Giants on YouTube, just looking to see anything just to make the pain go away. But it didn't go away. But what are you gonna do? Hopefully we come out, smack the fuck out of the Cardinals next week. It's the only thing that would make this better, rectify it in any way. I mean, we can't just beat the Cardinals. The Cardinals are dog shit. We have to smack them in the mouth and wish they never played. Make them wish they never played football. Destroy them. We have to. Anyway, let's get into it a little bit here at Commissioner's Corner. I just want to do a little breakdown. I also have a power ranking set up that will change weekly. This will be a weekly episode. The confiding in the commissioner, that is going to be bi-weekly just because it's hard to get somebody here every week. And the second guest will know who they are. No one else will unless they tell, which in which case is gay. Anywho. All right, so let's go to the game of the week. Let's just get right into it. I mean, the game of the week was, and always, like, it was just so obvious. It's got to be Alan DeGeneres versus Austin, Jake, I Am Your Father team. God, you got to change that. It's just terrible. It's terrible, terrible, terrible. But anyway, that game was right down to the wire. In fact, I believe if you go up to, what do I write anything? Nope, I didn't write anything in the notes. Go figure, fellas. But I thought somebody had their bench that I think it was Austin's team had Brandon Ayuk on the bench, and he like Steven's post earlier, he would have destroyed the league. I mean, what Ayuk get? Something ridiculous. I don't know, but it like 38 points or something ridiculous like that. It was an insane game. But Allen's guy topped him. He had Tyreek Hill, and that was just a bananas game with 211 yards or something like that, 2 touchdowns, 11 catches. Is just insane, insane numbers that they put up, those boys. But what are you gonna do, you know? Anyway, so then we got our dog shit bowl of the week, fellas. The dog shit bowl of the week after a long thing, because we had two teams in contention for this prestigious award, and those teams were Middleburg football team and Team Snyder, and Baked Veteran and a touch of downs. And I gave it to Baked Veteran a touchdowns. I think primarily for scoring reasons. I think the other team had a little more scoring, and quite frankly, Baked Veteran had two goose eggs. Two goose eggs. That's not gonna cut it in this league, man. That's just bad fantasy management. It's not even on your team. It's two goose eggs is unexcusable. It's an unexcusable forgiveness. Steven's team just looked completely lackluster. So did Michael's. He just glad. Steven said he's glad he didn't play a couple teams in his thing. He should be glad you didn't play like any team except Michael's team and maybe Snyder's, because your team is bottom tier, brother. It's bottom tier. Bottom tier. Blah, 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 blah. Bottom tier team. Now that we got that out of the way, let's get one thing straight. My condolences to my boy and Team Riggy Riggs. John's team, he lost 2 players to Achilles tears. J.K. Dobbins, who was off to a hot start, Achilles tear. I think Aaron Rodgers had 3 snaps, 4 snaps maybe, and not a single complete pass, Achilles tear. He's hurting. He's hurting, but he's got hope because he still has Baker Mayfield looked okay last week, serviceable quarterback, and you also have Alvin Kamara that's going to be coming back soon. So you're probably gonna catch another stray bullet, brother. You're probably gonna take an L next week. It, you're gonna start out in 2. Let's be honest, but it's not over. Most, I think, like the fourth team's probably gonna have like 6 or 7 losses, meaning you're still good to go. You can't give up week 1. That's crazy. Let's just get into it. My team looks sexy as hell. I mean, Jiminy Crickets. Even with subpar performances from Jalen Hurts, who did not look very good, and Darren Waller, I mean, who got me not great numbers. I think like 6 points. I still put up, 144, 142. So that's easily, if Jalen Hurts puts up another 10 points, which he should. I mean, he didn't even have 15 points. Now I'm at 152. And then if Darren Waller could get me another 6 points, being like that 12 range, I mean, I'm right there at the 160s. If you're scoring 160 every game, you're gonna be successful. Allen's team is very scary as well. Allen's team, even with the Giants, I mean, playing the worst football game I've ever seen in my life, and Allen having the quarterback and the running back on that team starting, he still dominated. I mean, 150 points with essentially goose eggs in those departments. I mean, Saquon still got like what 9 points. What the fuck is 9 points? Is a bad game. Let's be honest. 9 points is, it's not it. So yeah, Allen's team is very scary, but you can't expect Tyreek Hill to be doing that weekly. It's just not going to work. Austin's team is also scary. It's just unfortunate that he had to play Allen's team, and unfortunately had Brandon Ayuk on the bench, but no worries. I'm not going to shoot shade at that. Every league I'm in, someone had Brandon Ayuk on the bench, so this was not just a you thing. Why would you start him in a 10-man league? Next week, you got a decision to make, because can you do it again? I don't know, but that's for you to decide, I guess, brother. Yeah, your team's scary. I mean, Chase even underperformed. I believe you have Jamar Chase. Yeah, Jamar Chase underperformed, but your running backs did overperform. Not Austin Eckler so much, but Aaron Jones. You cannot expect 26 points a week out of that guy. Mikey's team is just completely lackluster. Team touchdowns just lackluster across the board. I don't know. He's got to figure something out. It's week 1. I wouldn't, uh, you know, I wouldn't burn the house down, but like Josh Jacobs is gonna play better. The T Higgins goose egg probably is not gonna happen normally. That was Gibbs is gonna get more playing time. You're gonna be okay, I think, but it's gonna be like a John Ridley situation minus the injuries. You're just gonna start out rough. I think you got to figure that quarterback situation out. Brees Hall looked amazing, so figure that out if you want to play him. But it's not looking great for you, Mikey. Steve's team is also not good. I don't know what he's got to do. I mean, he's got no wide receivers. He scraped one out. I mean, the guy, Drake London, 0 points. Dallas Goedert, 0 points. Devonta Smith had a good one, but it's like, who are you going to sub in for these guys? Zay Flowers, I think that was an outlier game, really. I think the guy's good, but I wouldn't expect maybe 17's, I guess, nothing crazy, but yeah, you got to figure something out in that passing game. I mean, maybe Nico Collins turns nice. Maybe Zay Flowers does turn into the guy, but I mean, something's got to change because even your running backs, aside from Nick Chubb, are subpar. Let's be honest. Your quarterbacks are good, but they were lackluster. And if you're gonna have this squad, you need them to dominate every week to survive teams like me, because I'll eat your lunch. This team's not good. All right, next up we have Next up, we have Ace's team. It sucks because I wouldn't say high on Ace's team, but they just underperformed. That's all that is. That's fantasy sometimes. You're going to have that. You're going to have weeks where your guys underperform. Lamar Jackson, 6 points. That's crazy. That's a one-time thing. Bright side, Tua. I can see Tua doing that weekly. Not Tyreek Hill, maybe, but maybe Waddle gets a little bit more love. I mean, 27 points is a crazy game. He had crazy yards, but I think he was low on the touchdowns, just why his score was low. But the yards were crazy. Um, Derrick Henry underperformed, let's be honest. Cam Akers, doo-doo. CeeDee Lamb underperformed. Amari Cooper underperformed. Njoku. I mean, the Denver running back, I don't even know how to say Perrine. Maybe the team's not as good as I thought it would be, but we'll see. The quarterbacks will get better. 103 is a low number that even you shouldn't be scoring that. This is the bad week for you. Laraway's team, I'm not big on Allen. I've been saying that from the get. And he had 3 interceptions. I mean, the Jets' defense is good, but that wasn't Sauce Gardner getting 3 picks. I mean, that was some no-name sign-on who signed on a week ago, got 3 interceptions on the guy. Literally got a sign-on bonus in 1 game. But Snow Bunnies is okay. They're in an alright spot. It sucks Deontay Johnson went down. I have him in another league. I don't know how bad that injury is, but he probably will be out a few weeks. It didn't look good. I did see it live. Um, but yeah, and the Steelers D, it hurt you. Bijan Robinson's going to probably keep doing that. Adams will play a little better. Other than that, I mean, nothing is just popping out on me. No one really went bananas. But maybe next week. It's still week 1. I wouldn't worry too bad. Brody's team looks the scariest in my eyes. I mean, Brody's team, it just looks scary. I don't know. Something about it without Travis Kelce playing, putting up nearly 160 points, 156 to be exact. If he had Travis Kelce instead of the rookie tight end on the Lions who gathered him 9 points, which is serviceable. It's what you can ask for on a last-second replacement. Travis Kelce's known to get you 20-something points regularly. You're talking Brody's in the 170s, potentially 175 range, and that's something this squad can do. Najee Harris sucked. Got him 5 points. He's still doing this. CMC's going to do that night in and night out. Russell Wilson is probably going to get you around 15 to 20 every week, 20 on the high side. Deshaun Watson looked great. Watch that game live. He looked awesome. Sutton's going to look good. Mike Evans looks good. DK Metcalf looks good. The Cowboys defense, I don't even want to talk about it. The Giants will be better. I think that was a one-off thing. I'm praying it's a one-off thing. And, I mean, you got Tyler Lockett on the bench. You got Khalil Herbert. You got Dalvin Cook, who got a lot of touches. I mean, Jerry Jeudy when he comes back. Brody's team looks scary. Let's just get it out of the way. I told Brody the team's going to be really good if his quarterbacks work out, and they're looking like they're going to work out. I mean, at the very least, they're not going to be crapshoots they were last year. Tanner's team, finally, he's another one that scraped by pretty good. Just got lucky. He was playing Asa. That being said, Joe Burrow is going to play better than that. I don't know what that was. That was a little bit better than what the Giants did. But 3 points is tough for your first pick. I want to believe he was probably your first or second pick. That's tough. But on the bright side also, Richardson looks good. He looks like he's going to be maybe not a winning quarterback in the NFL, but he looks like he's a good fantasy quarterback, baby, and that's what we're playing, and that's all you could ask for. Pollard is going to do Pollard things. Ramondre Stevenson looked good in the touches he got towards the end of the game, but Zeke Elliott got more snaps. That scares me as an owner. That makes me think, what do I do with this guy? I don't know, because you got him early too. That sucks. Garrett Wilson, his stock goes down now that Aaron Rodgers is, out. Godwin is still the number 2 in Buccaneers. He's as good as he is. He's the number 2. Evan Ingram will be better throughout the season. The Packers D solid. Pretty much took all the faith out of Chicago. And let's see, you got Madison, who played well on the bench. You got Jacoby Myers, who I believe got hurt that game, but if he comes back, you clearly know that's a target that Jimmy Garoppolo likes. You have that. That's awesome. That's great to have on your bench. Just to have that feeling of security is nice in fantasy. And you have him paired with Jimmy Garoppolo just in case this Joe Burrow stinker is not just a one-off game. You're in okay shape, and you got to win. So you're in okay shape. And then we got Wrigley, the last one. I mean, the team's shambles. I already talked a little bit about it. You got Kamara coming back. You'll be okay. You're gonna take another L. I don't know who you're playing. Let's take a peek. Why not? Let's just take a look. Let's take a little looky look. Who you playing? Week 2, you got Snow Bunnies, who's also got a loss. I am gonna put my chips again, and hopefully I don't get screwed again on Lairway. But if you're gonna squeak one out, this might be your opportunity to get them early ones. But then again, I mean, Snow Bunnies could have. I'm not low on Lairway's team either. It's still week 1. It's so hard to tell. Um, yeah. So Riggy Riggs team. I mean, back to that. You lost your quarterback. You lost J.K. Dobbins. I mean, Baker Mayfield looked serviceable. Kamara's coming back. Jets defense looked nice, just like the Jags defense looked nice. You have different pieces. Michael Thomas looked nice. Juju Smith was out on the field. And you have Mark Andrews coming off the bench. You have a solid bench. You got a solid bench, and you got 2 great defenses. You got the best kicker in the league who didn't do fuck all. You got good wide receivers. Your running backs are piss poor, but you have enough shit on your bench that you could make a move and get you some. Steven's trying to shop running backs right now. Might be your opportunity to get in line and get you a Joe Mixon or something. So you have Montgomery, Kamara, and Mixon. All of a sudden, this team is good again. Or you could hunt for a QB and say, hey, I'm out on Baker. It's up to you. So I'm just going to go into the power rankings now that I just went through every game. Again, it's week 1. It's really hard to tell who's going to do what. But this is the power rankings I got, and you probably could tell by it based on the things I said about the teams already. But I got in last place. I have John Wrigley, obviously right now. Team Riggy Riggs. It's just we already done. I'm not gonna bury the guy anymore. I honestly feel for the dude. That sucks. Week 1 in my other league, Zach Lombardi has the same 2 guys. It's also a 2 QB league. He's got Aaron Rodgers and J.K. Dobbins. I wonder if you guys drafted in the same spot, even though that's a 12-man league, because you guys have similar rosters, and he is shopping like a motherfucker. He's probably already done like 5 waiver moves already. It's week 1. But yeah, so I got Team Riggy Riggs in last place on the power rankings. Then I have Team Touch of Downs in 9th. I have Team Snow Bunnies at 8th. I have Team Snyder at 7. I got Baked Veteran at 6, and only because he won. I think there's some teams that lost last week that are better than Baked Veteran, unfortunately for him, but he squeaked one out. I got Middleburg Football Team at 5. I got Jake, I'm Your Father at 4. And that is a debatable one, too, because I do think Austin seems scary, but he lost, so I did dock him. Perhaps a power ranking or 2. Then I got Alan DeGeneres at 3. I have Captain Comish's team, myself, at 2. And I have Brody's Coys at 1. I do think that's the teams. And last but not least, I'm going to do some predictions here just because, I'm not going to be able to do a Confiding in the Commissioner episode this week. So my predictions, I'm going to go myself over Touch of Downs. This should be an easy matchup for me. This should be starting me off 2-0. Really nice. I'm going to go Coys over Snyder which sucks. I mean, Snyder's gonna have to bury out of a hole, and I really don't think his team's not is that bad. He's just got tough. Not that team Middleburg football team is the toughest matchup, but he's got Brody's team. Brody's team, if Travis Kelce plays, is a force to be reckoned with as of right now. Uh, so yeah, so give me myself, give me Coys, give me Snow Bunnies over Riggy Riggs, give me Jake I Am Your Father over Middleburg football team, and give me Allen Degenerates over Baked Veteran. So, yep, to reiterate, Captain Kamish, Coys, Snow Bunnies, Jake I Am Your Father, Allen Degenerates. We're going to lock those picks in, boys, and let's have a good week of fantasy football. Hope to see a lot of waiver moves. Steven, I'm loving the posts, dude. They're really nice and well put together. I dig that shit a lot. And let's have a good week of football. Commissioner out.